Mercury Strats and 30 MR from Lichbane. Shaco gets 30 MR from Hex Drinker. And Rammus gets 25 MR from Mercury Strats and 48 MR from Negatron Cloak. Every champion also has natural magic resist. For Teemo this is 30, for Lee Sin it's 51.6, for Nidalee it's 43.5, for Shaco it's 53.25, and for Rammus it's 30. This gives totals of Teemo 60, Lee Sin 81.6, Nidalee 98.5, Shaco 83.25, and Rammus 103. Using this, we can calculate the damage reduction using damage reduction is magic resistance divided by 100 plus magic resistance. This gives us Teemo 38% reduced damage, Lee Sin 45% reduced damage, Nidalee 50% reduced damage, Shaco 45% reduced damage, and Rammus 51% reduced damage. I'm assuming here that Rammus doesn't use his defensive ball curl. If he does activate it, this would be 72% reduced damage. Going back to Amumu's abilities, we calculate the damage with 160 AP before magic resist. Bandage Toss has 320 base damage and an AP ratio of 1, so the total damage is 480. Tantrum, 175 base damage, an AP ratio of 0.5, making a total of 255 damage per enemy. We already calculated part of the damage of Despair. So for Teemo the damage would be 24 base damage plus 69 damage based on health is 93 damage per second. For Lee Sin, 24 base damage plus 84 damage based on health is 108 damage per second. Nidalee, 24 base damage, 77 damage based on health is 101 damage per second. Shaco, 24 base damage, 69 damage based on health makes 93 damage per second. And Rammus, 24 base damage plus 95 damage based on health is 119 damage per second. Then the Curse of the Sad Mummy, 350 base damage and an AP ratio of 1 makes a total of 510 damage per enemy. To calculate the total damage, we will have to make a few assumptions. So the first assumption, we will assume that we hit Teemo with the Bandage Toss. Teemo has the lowest magic resist and it does the most damage to him. Second, we assume that all 5 enemy champions are within range of each of our spells, which is 350 range, which is the range of Despair. To give you an idea of how much that is, you can see the range here. The third assumption then, we assume the fight will last 5 seconds and none of the enemy champions will move or use spells during that time. And the fourth assumption, we assume that there are no minions present. Assumption 1, 2 and 3 are chosen such that the spell vamp is maximum to see if it's viable in the perfect situation. Assumption 4 reduces the effectiveness of the spell vamp. The reason I disregard it is because the chance of minions being present at a team fight is neglectable, in my opinion. As an indication to the amount of spell vamp from minions, using the HP values after 100 minion waves with 7 minions present, 3 melees from 775 HP, 3 caster minions, 530 HP, and a cannon minion for 1030 HP, Amumu could deal around 5000 damage to minions for a spell vamp of 1000 life. But as I said, the chance that you have 7 full health minions at your team fights and you hit all 5 champions and the champions don't move is just a little too optimistic even for me. Well, furthermore, we assume a bandage toss on the weakest champion, which is Teemo, for the maximum damage, and we will assume that a basic attack, which triggers the passive, is only used on Teemo, but immediately after the bandage toss. So the attack then. We have a bandage toss on Teemo, dealing 480 damage, with a damage reduction of 0.38, which means that Teemo loses 298 life. Right after the bandage toss we assume a basic attack on Teemo, so before other abilities are used. Since the basic attack deals no magic damage, there's no spell vamp, so we disregard the damage. Teemo's magic resist drops by 35 from 60 to 25. The reduction drops to 25 divided by 100 plus 25 is 0.2, so 80% of the damage done to Teemo is effective. Then we assume Tantrum will be the next spell. It doesn't actually matter, but Tantrum deals 255 damage. With the damage reductions we see that Teemo receives 204 damage, Lee Sin 140, Nidalee 128, Shaco 140, Rammus 125. Total damage is 737 life for each 3 to 4 seconds. As stated earlier, we assume that the cooldown of Tantrum is 3 to 4 seconds. Curse of the Sad Mummy then, which deals 510 damage. To Teemo, with the damage reduction, it's 408, to Lee Sin 281, to Nidalee 255, to Shaco 281, and to Rammus 250. Total damage from the ultimate is 1475 life. For Despair, Teemo will receive 74 damage, Lee Sin 59, Nidalee 54, Shaco 51, and Rammus 58, for a total of 296 life per second. We assumed that the teamfight lasted for 5 seconds. This means that we can use Tantrum twice for a total damage of 1474, and we can use Despair 5 times, or rather it damages enemies 5 times, for a total of 1480 life. The total magic damage during the fight is then 298 damage from Bandage Toss, 1474 damage from Tantrum, 1475 damage from the Curse of the Sad Mummy, and 1480 damage from Despair, for a total of 4727 life. And the total spell vamp from that is 0.2 times 4727 is 945 life. Now that we calculated this, we can compare the spell vamp build with the more conventional reference build. The spell vamp build gives 1984 natural HP for a level 18 Amumu, 1205 life from items, and 945 life from spell vamp, for a total of 4134 life. The reference build gives 1984 natural HP for a level 18 Amumu, 1295 life from items, for a total of 3279 life. Since Amumu gets 77.4 natural armor and 30 magical armor, or magic resist,